So we have got ourselves the Little Things evolution from the League Uncut. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the best options, some mistakes you can make with this, and also where you can claim it if you've unlocked it. So once you get to this screen, just press A or X. Once you've redeemed it, this is where the confusion comes in. Just head over to your Evolutions tab. When you see this screen here, just head over to Rewards and Cosmetics, and you're going to have to like scroll down until you find it. So let me go ahead and find it, and I'll be back once I've got it. And it is right at the bottom. Now, as you can see here, what this does in terms of a boost is it literally just gives them a boost. It gives them plus 10 in balance, agility, composure, reactions get 15 each on those. Defensive awareness, attacking position get plus 10s, vision, stamina, 20, 15, curve. They do not get any playstyles or anything like that. So you have an absolute crazy amount of players to go on. For example, give it to Gareth Bale. The only issue you have, and this is where the mistake comes in, yes, I can give it to Bale. I can make him 92 rated. I can give him the card design in terms of the blue and green. But if you actually look, he's getting 0 upgrades. He's getting no upgrades whatsoever. So there is capped at 85. So with that in mind, you want to be careful and don't make the mistake of putting it on a player that actually doesn't get a boost. Because all you're doing, especially with somebody with the likes of Gareth Bale, is you're taking them from 90 to 92 rated, which may stop them being put into another evolution down the line. So what I recommend that you do is look at somebody that hasn't got 85 overalls in certain situations. For example, we look at Messi. You can see here he's got extremely high agility and balance, extremely high composure. So that means this card isn't going to give him any boost whatsoever. You can see here he gets 10 on defensive awareness, 8 on stamina, and he gets nothing else. So do you really want to give a card 92 rated to give him 8 plus stamina, 10 defensive awareness? I don't think so. So the cards that you want to look for are going to be your low-end chain cards. So if you don't know what I mean by that, is the cards that you could eventually EVO again in the future, or somebody that you've already EVO'd and you're looking to give them a little bit of a boost, because composure is really hard to come by in most cards. You don't get very lucky with that. So my Camavinga is one, for example. You can see here, yes, he does have really high agility and a balance and composure. But if you were to use this card as one of my EVO chains, the issue I would have is, you can see here, he doesn't get any stat boost apart from 4 defensive awareness, and then I make him 89 rated, which most likely is going to be the cap of how far he goes. So even some of the EVO chains you want to be careful with. So we actually head a little bit further down the list here, and I'm just going to pause it to get to the bottom where I need to get to. So today I wanted to introduce you to eldorado.gg. It's a fantastic website to get yourself some FC25 coins. If you're looking to improve your team, it can take up to a matter of 30 minutes, and the coins will be deposited into your account. Not only this, they have trusted and verified sellers, so you are buying off somebody else who has the coins available, and it has their delivery time and their review rating of how reliable and fast they are, and 100% guaranteed money back or refund if you are not happy or satisfied with your order. On top of this, they have over 34,000 positive to excellent reviews on their website, so you know these are one of the best places to go. Don't forget to use code NaNNiK to get your discount on your coins. The link will be in the description and in the comment section down below. Let's get back to the video. So, for example, somebody like Van der Ven that I am currently EVO chaining, you can see here, he does lack in agility and balance. His composure's there, not really too fussed about the attacking awareness or anything like that, and his stamina's at 80 altogether. So if I were to put this evolution on, he only goes to 88 rated, which we know is already in the cap, and you can see here he gets plus 10 on agility, plus 10 on balance, as well as 5 on stamina. Yes, his vision and curve go up, not like that's really that important, but getting him to 74 agility, 70 balance, and then I were to put something like an engine on him because he's got such high pace, that's going to maximize him up to 80. Now having 80 agility and 78 balance on a centre back is huge, especially with how quick players are, and then he has so much more room to be EVO'd again at 88 rated. Now going back down the list again to look at some other players that are very similar, the end of an era Varane is a really good example because his agility and balance is so low. His stamina is also at 70, as you can see just down here. So this is not a bad one to go for. We've also got the likes of the earlier cards, like I mentioned, Alaba. Even Thuram isn't terrible, but again, the issue you have with Thuram is he has really high agility balance, so you're only going to get like +1, +2s on there. So you want to look, and the same for Saliba as well. For example, Saliba's got really low agility and balance, so he's going to get +15 or +20 on those. And again, for the same for his stamina. So that's something that you could go for. They're the type of defenders you're looking for. Now, when it comes to attackers, somebody like Rafinha isn't really going to be affected too much. He's going to get minimal upgrades, right? You're going to get high upgrades on defense, but the rest of it, not so much. And then you want to go a little bit lower. Like, you want to find somebody that you're like, oh, well, I've been wanting to EVO this card for a while, been waiting, what's the best way to chain him? Boosting up these stats first is going to be the most consistent way of chaining. For example, Looking at like somebody like Trent, right? He's probably going to get a team this season, but let's just argue that he doesn't. Getting him up to 88 rated and then just boosting up all of the stats to help him out is a massive thing. Having that high agility and balance as well. And you can see here with the card, he gets a +10 on agility and balance, +3 on composure. Even though composure doesn't sound a lot, that's actually a massive difference. His attacking awareness goes up, his defensive awareness goes up. Yes, his stamina and vision, it doesn't go up. But then he is a much more attractive card in that sense. And then once we get another Evo to put this on top, you're going to get the playstyles on him. Try and boost up that pace and that shooting without a chem style, and you're laughing with a card like this. So looking at like somebody like Conor Gallagher, bit of a random one I know, but low rated enough for you to Evo him. If you ever look at his stats now, quite low agility and balance for a midfielder. He's got quite rounded stats for an 81 rated. Now we need to remember he's 81 rated. But if you were to put something like this on him, gets him up to 83 rated only, and then it just maximizes the extra statistics we need. The agility and balance go up, the composure goes up, his positioning and defensive awareness goes up, especially his stamina going up to 94. And then you have so much more room to basically Evo him again. So agility, balance +10s, composure +9, reactions go up to maximum. Attacking defensive, attacking position, defensive awareness also go up. His vision, his curve go up. So if we do get something like Puppeteer or I forgot the other midfielder one, where it's like the Maestro, but the midfielder version. So the centre back one we got the other day, but the midfielder version. You're looking at a card that's going to get like 87 pace, and then all of his other stats are going to be boosted. Now, don't get me wrong, some may be capped, but you're going to be in such a good position with this because you've already leveled up. I'm not saying Conor Gallagher is the must-go-to player, but with the list of players we have and everybody fits in it, there are so many players that just don't help. For example, like I said, Saka he gets 10 on defensive awareness. That's great. Don't need him for that. And he gets nothing else. So again, Saka's not the best choice, and I've just made him 92 rated, so harder to Evo down the line. The same for the likes of Roberto. Yeah, great. He gets no upgrades there and a +2 on defensive awareness. The same for probably Kante. Gets +8 on defensive, +8 on attacking, 15 on curve, nothing else. And you will be removing, now don't worry too much because the chemistry's changed anyway, but you will be, for example, Frank Lampard, right? If we were to change him to this, he doesn't get icon chemistry, but this basically acts like icon chemistry anyway. So if you have got an obscure card, don't worry too much because you're not going to lose anything when it comes to chemistry. The only other cards I'll be looking at, again, I like Company a lot. His agility and balance is quite low, so you could put it on that. That's not a bad argument. Gets +10 on agility, +10 on balance, and gets 4 on stamina, which makes him into a really top-tier defender on that base alone. We're talking about playstyles or roles for the moment. So there is some high-rated cards that can go in. I do like the looks of Company, but you are looking for a defensive midfielder or someone a little bit box-to-box, or a defender overall, because as you can see here, some of these players just do not get barely any boost for a +2, and you're just going to hold it's kind of like handcuffing yourself to be able to upgrade another card later on. For the likes of random cards like this, again, he gets 0 on anything in the first level, and then +4 on vision, attacking position, and curve for a right back. Do you really need that? I don't think so. But that's kind of what the ones you want to go for. Let me know in the comment section down below who you're going for. Like, I do like the likes of Van Dijk, and the problem with Van Dijk in general is this is actually a really good one for him. But if he's 91 rated, and then we go back over to the other evolution that most of you would have done by now, which I will get on my way to the Monstro, you can see here it is maxed at 90. So it means you can't even put Van Dijk into this afterwards. So you got to make that decision, which I don't like. So 92 is where you want to be careful. Like 90 is a good place to be for a card once you've used that evolution. So if you know what I mean, go ahead and do this evolution. And then once you've done that, make sure they only go to 90 rated and no higher, because then we can move on to the next one. Say for someone like Bale, making him 92 rated, it means you can't Evo him again for a very long time. So you want to go to like max 88 is the highest rated card you want to go for. And then from then on, you can then look at other ones. For example, Bernardo Silva, he gets 0, or he gets +10 on defensive awareness, not really necessary, and then, again, nothing else. So, is that worth it? I don't think so, but they're the type of cards you want to look for in terms of overall rating, unless you're going for somebody like a Company who has really high stats. Now, I could potentially do this Mendy, but the same issue I have is he gets 0 upgrades here, and then +2 on curve, just to make him 91 rated. Will I do that? No, as you already know. I'm probably going to look for someone a bit lower and try to Evo chain them. But the other thing as well to add on to this, it's here for 2 weeks. So take your time with it. Don't rush. Almost every single card can go into it as long as they're not over 90 rated. You'll be fine. And I'll catch you in the next one.